Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Take a deep breath, just for a moment. Let your shoulders fall. We're going to talk about something quiet, something that happens in the background of our lives, often without us even noticing, until it speaks up. I want to tell you about a patient of mine, a wonderful gentleman, 68 years old, with a laugh that could fill a room. But when he first came to see me, he wasn't laughing much. He'd done everything right. Brushed twice a day, flossed religiously, never missed a dental checkup. Yet his gums were inflamed, tender. His teeth, once bright, had taken on a stubborn yellow hue, and there was this film, a persistent plaque that no amount of scrubbing seemed to touch. He felt defeated. "Doctor," he said to me, his voice low, "I feel like my body is working against me. Is this just getting old?" I looked him in the eye and told him what I'm here to tell you today. It's not just aging, and you are not fighting a losing battle. What if I told you that within just 3 weeks, that same man saw his gum inflammation reverse, the yellow stains begin to fade, that stubborn plaque finally begin to release its grip from this to this, and we did it not with harsh chemicals or painful scraping, but with a natural, easy-to-follow 3-step ritual. This is what we're here to uncover today. Welcome. This space is a conversation where we blend modern science with the kind of timeless wisdom that respects the body's intelligence. Today, we're shining a light on one of the most misunderstood and deeply underestimated topics in senior health: oral inflammation. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Something to discuss with your dentist. But it's so much more than that. The health of your mouth is not separate from the health of your body. It is the front porch. It's the first place we can see the whispers of deeper trouble brewing inside. And for so long, we've been taught to just scrub the front porch harder. We've been told it's about brushing, flossing, and rinsing. But what if the real issue isn't on the surface at all? What if it's coming from inside the house? The research from both esteemed American institutions and leading clinics in Japan is now undeniable. The quiet, chronic inflammation in our gums is often the first sign of distress in the heart, a warning for the brain, and can even be a marker for our very lifespan. This isn't about scaring you, it's about empowering you. Because knowledge, when delivered with care, is the most powerful tool we have. I know this hits close to home for so many of you. Perhaps you're listening right now, nodding your head. You've done everything right. You buy the best toothpaste, you use the mouthwash, you avoid sweets. And still, your gums bleed when you brush. Your teeth feel sensitive to hot or cold. There's a discoloration that wasn't there 10 years ago. If that sounds familiar, I want you to hear me clearly. You are not alone, and it is not your fault. The real problem isn't dental, it's metabolic. After the age of 60, our bodies begin to change in subtle but profound ways. It's about a shift in blood flow, a natural decline in certain enzymes, a subtle change in our immune response. This is why today's conversation is so important. I truly urge you to stay with me, to give yourself this time, because we are going to uncover the real causes behind plaque, gum, breakdown, and stains after 60. And more importantly, I will walk you through, step by step, 3 gentle, natural habits, still used in Japanese clinics today, that can help you reverse this process. No harsh chemicals, no painful scraping, just a return to balance. And if you find value in what we discussed today, if it resonates with you, please consider leaving us a like on this video and a comment below. It's a small act, but it tells the platform to share this information with other people, just like you who may be searching for these very answers. It helps our community grow. So let's begin. Why? Why do so many of us develop plaque, discoloration, and gum disease even when we are doing everything right? The answer is simple yet profound. We've been fighting the wrong enemy. For decades, we've been told that plaque is just leftover food particles, a result of poor brushing. But that's a misunderstanding of what's really happening. Plaque isn't just debris, it is a living structure. Imagine a tiny microscopic city built by bacteria. This city has walls, defenses, and a communication system. In science, we call this a biofilm. It's a shield, a fortress that bacteria create to protect themselves from oxygen, from your saliva, and even from your own powerful immune system. Over 95% of bacteria in the natural world live this way. It's not just a mouth issue, it's how microbes survive. And after 60, the environment of your mouth changes in ways that roll out the welcome mat for these bacterial cities. First, saliva production often decreases. Saliva is our body's natural mouthwash. It's rich in minerals, enzymes, and oxygen that keep harmful bacteria in check. When the mouth becomes drier, it's like a riverbed drying up, leaving the perfect terrain for these biofilms to build their fortresses. Second, blood flow to the gums can slow down. Our blood is what delivers nutrients and immune cells to keep the gum tissue healthy and resilient. When that circulation is less robust, the gums become thinner, more vulnerable, less defended. So you have a drier environment and weaker defenses. This gives these plaque-forming bacteria everything they need to dig in, multiply, and stay. They're not just passing through, they are colonizing. And what do they feed on to build these cities? This is where our modern diet comes in. Most people think of sugar from candy or soda, but the far greater and more insidious danger comes when sugar combines with refined starches. Think of crackers, toast, processed breakfast cereals. That combination creates a uniquely sticky, glue-like substance that coats the teeth. It's the perfect construction material and fuel source for the biofilm. The bacteria feast on it, and as they do, they produce acids. These acids are what demineralize our enamel and irritate our gums. Over time, that soft plaque begins to absorb minerals from your saliva, and it hardens. It calcifies, it becomes tartar or calculus. This hard, crusty substance burrows down into the gum line, creating pockets where even more dangerous bacteria can hide, safe from your toothbrush. This is when you start to see the real signs of trouble. Bleeding when you brush, gum recession, deepening pockets, and eventually even bone loss. And here is the crucial truth. Most toothpastes and mouthwashes do almost nothing to break down this hardened biofilm. The root of the problem isn't mechanical, it's chemical. It's about the environment. So you see, it's not about brushing harder. It's about changing the very environment those bacteria live in. You can't scrub your way out of a biological imbalance. You have to gently, patiently, and wisely shift the terrain. This brings a deep sense of relief to so many of my patients. The feeling that they can stop fighting and start supporting. That they can work with their body, not against it. So the question becomes, if we can't just scrub it away, what is the gentlest, smartest way to change the conditions inside the mouth so that plaque can't keep coming back? This is where the wisdom from those Japanese clinics comes in, and it begins with our very first step. The first and most profoundly effective way to start shifting the mouth's environment is not with force, but with chemistry. Simple, beautiful chemistry. Before anything else, we need to change the pH. Let me explain. Harmful bacteria, the ones that build plaque and cause decay, thrive in an acidic environment. It's their comfort zone. But when the mouth becomes more alkaline, more neutral, that biofilm, the very root of plaque and tartar, begins to lose its structural integrity. It starts to break down. The fortress walls begin to crumble. So the very first method I recommend is a gentle homemade paste. It's made from 3 natural ingredients that rebalance the mouth without stripping it of its good bacteria or damaging your precious enamel. We are not attacking the teeth. We are creating balance around them. It's such a fundamental shift in thinking. You're not trying to kill all the bacteria. You are simply dissolving their hiding place. And the foundation of this paste starts with one of the most common and most underestimated ingredients in your kitchen, baking soda. Now that might surprise some of you. I know many people have heard that baking soda is too abrasive, that it can wear down enamel over time, and that can be true if it's used the wrong way. If it's used dry with a hard toothbrush and aggressive scrubbing. But that's not what we're going to do. We are going to use it with wisdom. What makes baking soda so special is not its grit, it's its alkalinity. It has a high pH, which means it beautifully neutralizes the acids produced by bacteria and from the foods we eat. This neutralization gives your enamel a chance to breathe, a chance to remineralize from your saliva. It's not a scrub. It's a reset button for your mouth's chemistry. To the baking soda, we add our second ingredient, hydrogen peroxide. But please hear me very carefully on this. We are only using a small amount of food-grade 3% hydrogen peroxide, the kind you can find at any pharmacy, never a higher concentration. A few drops of this diluted peroxide do something remarkable. It doesn't work like bleach, it works by releasing oxygen. These plaque-forming bacteria are often anaerobic, meaning they hate oxygen. The gentle fizzing action of the peroxide helps to penetrate the biofilm and release tiny bubbles of oxygen, which disrupts the bacteria and loosens their grip. It also helps to gently whiten the teeth over time, not by stripping the enamel, but by oxidizing the molecules that cause stains. So you see the elegance here? You're targeting the source of the problem without scorched earth chemicals that kill your entire oral microbiome, including the beneficial bacteria you need. We don't want to wipe out the mouth's delicate ecosystem. We want to guide it back to balance. And now for the third ingredient, the one that truly elevates this simple paste, clove oil. When I first learned about this in my studies of traditional medicine, I was intrigued. Clove oil contains a powerful natural compound called eugenol. This compound has been used for centuries for its ability to calm inflammation and gently numb pain, which is wonderful for sensitive gums. But more importantly, modern science has shown us that eugenol has the ability to disrupt the very structure of that biofilm. It makes it harder for plaque to organize itself and harden into tartar. So imagine these three ingredients working together in synergy. The baking soda is changing the pH, making the environment inhospitable for plaque. The hydrogen peroxide is delivering oxygen, loosening the biofilm's grip. And the clove oil is calming inflammation and further disrupting the plaque's structure. This is what makes this approach so powerful. It's not a surface-level solution, it is a foundational one. And it's so often overlooked because it sounds, well, too simple to work. But I have found in my many years of practice that the body often responds best to the simplest, gentlest invitations to heal. When my patients use this paste, I always give them the same instructions. This is not about scrubbing. It is about working with your body. Use a very soft toothbrush. Take a small pea-sized amount of the paste. Use gentle small circles once a day. Let the ingredients do the work. Pay special attention to the gum line where plaque loves to hide. Rinse well and feel the clean. It's a different kind of clean. Not the harsh, stripped feeling of alcohol-based mouthwash, but a smooth, balanced, truly clean feeling. But what about those who want to take it a step further? What about the people who feel their enamel has already become weak, sensitive, and worn down over the years? For those who want to go deeper, to not just neutralize plaque, but to actively rebuild what has been lost, I often recommend adding a remarkable mineral to this ritual. It's called hydroxyapatite. It may sound like a complex chemical, but it's the most natural thing in the world. Hydroxyapatite is the very mineral that your enamel and bone are naturally made of. It makes up about 97% of your tooth enamel. In Japan, we have been using it in clinical dental settings for decades, and now, more and more research in the United States is confirming what we have seen with our own eyes. For years, this mineral can actually fill in the microscopic cracks and fissures in aging teeth, restoring density and strength. Think of it like repairing a stone wall. Hydroxyapatite works almost like scaffolding, providing the exact building blocks your enamel needs to heal itself. Unlike fluoride, it works in harmony with the body's natural remineralization process, and it carries no risks if accidentally swallowed. This is such a powerful message of hope, because I think so many people, perhaps you included, have been led to believe that once your enamel is gone, that's it, that there is no way back. But what this tells us is that the body has a profound capacity to heal if we give it the right materials. We can help the body rebuild itself, at least partially, especially in the early stages of wear. Microcracks, tooth sensitivity, the beginnings of decay, these are all areas where hydroxyapatite can make a real measurable difference. It's not magic, it's biology. And the best part is that it's naturally biocompatible. Your body recognizes it immediately because it's already a part of you. This makes it feel less like a supplement and more like restoring something we were always meant to have. I have seen patients who have used it consistently over several months. They come back for a checkup and they tell me their teeth feel smoother. They have fewer complaints of sensitivity to cold drinks. Their dentist might even notice an improved texture in their enamel. That kind of slow, steady repair isn't flashy, but it is real. So where do people find it? Is it something they have to get from a doctor? Not anymore. There are a few good options. Some natural toothpaste brands now include what they call microcrystalline hydroxyapatite in their formulas. But for more therapeutic use, I often recommend buying it in its pure powder form online. You can then mix a tiny pinch, just a small amount, directly into your homemade paste each day. In that sense, it becomes a part of your daily ritual, not a one-time fix. And it is the consistency that creates the results, not how strong the mixture is, but how steady the habit becomes. This really echoes a principle I've shared before in our talks. Healing isn't about force, it's about rhythm. And that seems to be true for every part of the body, from our gums to our gut to our brain. We are not forcing change, we are supporting it. And for anyone listening who feels like it's too late, that the damage is already done, that message can bring a lot of hope. So please, everyone, keep your attention with me now, because this leads us to the third and final part of this solution, and this part might be the most significant of all. It's the part that comes from the inside out. We're going to talk about food. Food is the most overlooked component of oral health, and yet it shapes everything, not just the fuel we eat, but what our body does with the nutrients from that fuel. In Japan, we have long held the understanding that strong, healthy teeth are built from within, and one of the most critically important and tragically forgotten nutrients for this process is vitamin K2. Now, you've probably heard of vitamin K1, which is found in leafy green vegetables and is important for blood clotting, but K2 is different. It's a fat-soluble vitamin, and it plays a completely different role in the body. Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic controller for calcium. Imagine your body has all this calcium coming in from your diet. Without a traffic controller, that calcium can get lost. It can end up in the wrong places. It can build up in your soft tissues like your arteries, leading to plaque. It can get deposited in your gum pockets. But vitamin K2 comes along and acts like a wise guide. It takes that calcium by the hand and directs it exactly where it belongs, into your bones and into your teeth. It tells the calcium your home is here in the hard tissues. This is absolutely crucial. I remember reading studies that showed traditional Japanese diets are naturally rich in K2 from foods like natto, a fermented soybean dish, and other fermented foods. But the standard Western diet has almost none. Most people in the West are walking around profoundly deficient in this key nutrient. But you don't have to eat natto to get it. One of the most accessible sources I recommend to my patients is grass-fed butter. The grass-fed part is important. Cows that eat grass concentrate vitamin K2 in their milk fat. Grass-fed butter also contains vitamin A, another critical nutrient for enamel, strength, and gum tissue resilience. And this isn't just tradition or folklore. We have robust modern research backing this up now. In both American and Japanese studies, we see a clear link. Higher vitamin K2 intake is associated with lower rates of both dental decay and arterial plaque. Think about that for a moment. What a powerful, beautiful overlap. The very same nutrient that protects your teeth might also be protecting your heart. This is where the conversation becomes so much bigger than just your mouth, because those same pathogenic bacteria that create tartar in your mouth, they have also been found inside the arterial plaque in people with heart disease. They've been found on damaged heart valves. So, you see, this isn't just a cosmetic issue. It is a whole body issue. It completely reframes oral care, moving it from the category of simple hygiene into the category of profound disease prevention. And the good news is that small, simple changes in your diet can have enormous effects. Just adding more K2-rich foods, more healthy fats from sources like grass-fed butter, and consciously cutting back on those ultra-processed, sticky starches gives your mouth a fighting chance. This isn't about eliminating everything you love. It's about consciously adding back in what's missing. It's about restoring the nutritional balance that our modern diets have slowly stripped away. And once that balance begins to return from the inside, you'll notice changes on the outside. The gums begin to tighten and look healthier. The plaque formation slows down. Many people even notice their breath improves because the underlying imbalance is being addressed. That's what makes this so empowering. The idea that something as simple and pleasurable as adding good quality butter or a little bit of fermented food to your diet can ripple through your entire body. It helps to explain why the mouth is so often the first place the body shows signs of imbalance, because it's exposed, it's sensitive, and it's quick to respond to both nourishment and distress. Which makes me wonder, after all this information, what is one simple thing someone could do tonight? Something small before bed to start shifting their oral health in the right direction. The simplest, most gentle thing you can do tonight is this: swish with warm water in a small pinch of baking soda before you go to sleep. That's it. Just a small pinch dissolved in warm water. Swish gently for 30 seconds and spit it out. Why before bed? Because nighttime is when the bacteria do their deepest work. As you sleep, your saliva production drops dramatically. Your mouth becomes drier, your defenses are down, and the biofilm has hours to thicken and harden undisturbed. But if you change the terrain right before that happens, if you create a gentle, alkaline environment before you close your eyes, you stop the cycle before it even starts. It's such an easy, almost effortless shift. And yet, it can have a huge impact, especially for those of you who have tried harsh alcohol-based mouthwashes that just seem to dry your mouth out even more. This feels different. It feels like support, not attack. And once that simple habit is in place, the rest can build on it naturally. Maybe the next week you try making the homemade paste. Maybe the week after that you start exploring vitamin K2-rich foods. This isn't a crash diet for your teeth. It's a rhythm, a gentle healing rhythm. And rhythm is what restores the body. It's incredible, isn't it? How something as quiet and humble as swishing with baking soda could be more powerful in the long run than expensive rinses or deep cleanings. Because it's not just what you do, it's when and how you do it. Gentle steps, repeated daily, create the strongest foundation. That is a message I hope everyone listening today takes to heart. That real, lasting healing doesn't come from extremes. It doesn't come from fighting or forcing or harsh protocols. It comes from consistency, it comes from nourishment, and it comes from time. You have spent a lifetime in this body. It has carried you, worked for you, and done its best to heal you every single day. Now is the time to work with it. To listen to its quiet signals like the tenderness in your gums and to respond not with frustration but with care, with wisdom. Thank you for spending this time with me today. It's a gift to share this space with you. Please help us reach more people who might need to hear this message. You can do that by simply liking this video and leaving your thoughts in the comments below. Sharing your own journey can be a light for someone else. Be gentle with yourself. Start small. And remember that every small act of self-care is a powerful affirmation to your body that you are on its side.